It's a Q fill, 8575. Today is, well, this was the 327, 327, 26. I'm going to call them raw notes. I should scratch here. 0026. That was my cousin. Right. It's passively driven. We get low down to 85 here. I get short here, 42 fills. They absorb it. They fill, I get out. Q moves lower. Somebody's spoofing 52 at 83.25. I get short here on the Q fill at 84. This looks like an as she goes, but kind of a hairy one. I probably scratch there. I do. I scratch for 2 ticks. Price action's relatively clean. This is an ASG here. I want to see if price rallies against me. They get absorbed there at 83.75. I'm just going to let tape run. And I get a good fill there. Huge absorption there, sell side, and they let it trade, which tells me we're super bearish. 81.75. We couldn't even break it, and sellers step in. There are no buyers there at all. $74, another Q fill here, most likely. I don't take it. It's an ASG here. Notice the 31 bid 40, 31 bid 80 at low of day. They sell it off. 2. This is an as she goes, but it's contingent on absorption here. They throw up lower here. Did I stack 3? I hope I didn't stack 3. So price has been unidirectional so far, and I've been reaping the benefits of it. I pulled one out. Okay, good. Because I don't want to stack 3. And the sell side absorption has been, the buy side absorption has been close to the bid ask. Today it was further away because there was less liquidity, most likely. I scratched after a plunge. They get absorbed there, another short, most likely. They let them out. It's time to get out. We're rallying here. Back to Q plunges. 115 at 75. I clear the bid ask. I'm just sitting on my hands here, which is perfect. 80 looks like a bid because the 70s at 80.75. They hold the level. Huge reaction there. I miss it though. They pull the Q. I pull the order. It's perfect. Even though I missed the rotation. 42. 58. See it at 80 even. That'd be a good fill there. Let me see how they stack it. 56. 79. 77. 75. There's another push. It spoofs. Pull the order if you went short. I'm just reading the Q right now. Regarding actual flow, I have little to cling on. I'm looking for 77, 75, 68 on bid. Those orders want to get filled, that's why they're pulling up. should scratch here, which is what I did. We're filling out a distribution here. There's a reversion trade depending on order flow. It needs to snap back though like that. And then there's a second plunge. 78.40 absorbed is perfect to get long and put a stop at 77.25, which blows out, which is fine. Then the Q moves lower now. There's a buy limit there that I'm chasing. I scratch it. We're most likely going to hit 76.50. That Q's going to leave. Those buyers got absorbed at 77.75. We're going to trade against them. I put my stop at 78.25, 2 ticks away from them. And I chase it. And we're so aggressive now that buyers can't even fill the inside prints. I'm trying to think of what that means. Let me make sure I'm not muted. I'm not. Buyers can't fill inside prints. There's no auction there. So it just means violence. And there's low liquidity there. It's either strength from sellers or weakness from buyers. Weakness would connotate the Q pulling. We're probably going to fill that 75 even because it's an inefficiency. Or just absorb the hell out of somebody at 74.50 and then send lower. Good fill. Bid ask. Lower now. Scratch break even. Pulled. Back up at 74, which is where the absorption was. More absorption there. Buyer stepped in. Q filled. Watching the profile now. Tape dried up right there. Need a turn before you can get short. Okay, get short. Just slow walk down now. Big sell off again. Really good scratch. Really fast. That's what I mean. Trying it again. 68. Good scratch on the rally. 73.25. Scratched. $70 even. 1077. That's a real order. It traded there. It traded so fast it thickened the profile. That's a good thing to target. We're just hitting lower now. 23.71.50 left out to dry. $71. They're selling off now, so those are being rewarded. They got absorbed, and that's why I pulled. So this is just a unidirectional move that I benefited on, which is fine. I was fast to it. I kind of want to punch myself in the face because I did so well today, and I did so well that day, and I was like, well, it finally clicked, and it was just a one-directional move. So I'm thinking, did I make it? Am I past the learning curve? Right, but neither of those questions have anything to do with trading the market. That's a good short. They pull and I scratch the order. 101 presses it lower. Some heavy absorption there. They step in though. Back into those moves. 69. LVN, I can't take the trade, but it looks like a little bit of absorption and some backticking from sellers. Okay, now I can take the trade. Set a long? Yeah, that's crazy. Because I didn't know why I was going long there. It looks like a breakout as she goes. I think I scratched because I couldn't break it and there was nothing on the tape. And we saw a huge turn. Was that a Q pull, maybe? Was it the 107 at 72.25? It's my cousin, if you can hear him. He sounds like he's having a lot of fun. It's 9:16 p.m. I have to work tomorrow. Then I have to go help my mom. And then I have Wednesday off because I'm helping my mom. You know, when I've 327, when I bust out here and people are like, "How are you making so much money?" You know, just remember that every second you were singing "I Want It That Way" by the Backstreet Boys, playing video games in the other room, I was here alone at 9:17 p.m. reviewing my trades. And I did that for years. So, well, I've looked at markets for years now. But I did that for, I don't know how long I'm doing it. This specifically, I have 100 videos on the channel. All this is going to be gone anyways. It's not like anybody's going to know. 71.25, 78 on the ask. That's a good plunge down to the downside. It's probably going to slip. See how it didn't slip? That's an indication of strength. And then they pull up on low Qs. It's probably going to break out again. 71.50 would be a good place. I don't like the sucker stop at 71, even though that's a better opportunity to trade. Then the auction shifts higher on sellers too, which is good. So it rallies. That big +1 plunge. I feel like if I try, I'm just gonna have to use a flat key. I feel like if I try to move my stops tomorrow, they're just gonna blow me out, which will mean a couple 8-tick losses, I'm sure. But now I'm just sitting on my hands watching tape. Okay, there's a spoofed Q there. It's probably gonna vacuum back down to 76.25. We ran out of liquidity up there. It hit 76.25, which is where the original Q started, and buyers defend it. We're watching 77 to see if it accepts into this distribution up at 81. So tape tries up down there. I really don't have anything to go off yet, except the Q jumping. We saw some buy action there and it didn't move price. Moved it 3 ticks and then we're back down to 76. That tells me we're going to go lower in a second. I pulled the order on a buy. I have to watch the whole thing again. We stop at 75. I want to see where liquidity sits. Okay, so 1275 thickens. Q pulls back down to 76. Sellers dry up. 45 gets absorbed. Buyers step in. We plunge low again on the Q. A little bit of absorption, sell side. More absorption, sell side. Now the Q's rallying. Oh, I'm hitting 73 at 77.25. That's what's going on here. I'm not watching the order flow. And then it pulls. I get out. There's absorption there. Still weakness. Seller steps in. Profile's thickened out, so the opportunity is gone now. We'd have to trade 75.25. That looks like a reason to get in. 78. The seller's there. They plunge it lower. Big rally there. Okay, so 78 would be the entry. Stop. 4 ticks lower. I want to see them show up on the tape in a second. I've flipped long there at the edge of the distribution and scratched. Was that a Q plunge? Maybe, I don't know. But that's a good scratch for 3 ticks. So the absorption played out to 78, 75, and I was looking for something called trees grow to the sky. Grow to the sky. I wanted liquidity to pull and tape to jump extraordinarily high. Like boom offside, but realistically a 4 tick in a good liquid environment, a 4 tick move to the upside is completely feasible. And now we sell lower, so it looks like we have that thing. We have unidirectional conditions on our hands, and the buy side has been hitting 2 ticks back, 76, 75, and 77 even. So we're looking for that big absorption right there. I was gonna say go long. I was gonna say go short, but oh, sorry, I wasn't looking at the profile conditions. Those are bad areas to trade. Down 75.50 if price broke would be the place. Also notice common denominator in winning day is drastically decreased trade frequency. This looks like just a passively driven as she goes type trade. I like this trade. I'm targeting 81.75. Really good scratch for 2 ticks. I'm gonna try again here. I don't get it. I pull immediately. Yeah, that's so good that I pulled immediately. Well, what if I sit around and see what happens? No. That makes me happy to see. Very wide range here. So really all my money came from recognizing that there's no opportunity here. It's a lesson for sure. I'm seeing the same absorption pattern here at 75.25. Yeah, I'm willing to hold. See all the sellers there? I'm sorry if you heard that. 75, 75.50, 3 ticks. See all the sellers there and how price hit up, especially on comparable buying, even though there's a 30 at 75, 75 on the inside prints. So it's in favor of buyers right now. And then liquidity dries up, but they want to make a market at 76 by the looks of it. So it's time to get out. Or, oh, no, I remember what happened here. I cut these trades too early, these reversion trades, and I don't wait for. I'm expecting a quick rotation in an area that doesn't have quick rotations because it's price coming back into a profile. So, yeah, and then price rallies. So we're gonna write that down. 1052, 1052, good RPB and patience. I don't know, patience, context, and order flow, and we're gonna watch the queue here. And then I scratch right before it reverts, and the queue drives it up. Market makers, I mean. That's so good. It makes me so happy that I recognize that. 25 hits, right? That's the reason for entry right there. 37 hits, again, nothing, not moving. Okay, now we're lower. Buyers get dragged down. More absorption, 75. Also, the 3 ticks before the 27 hit were empty. Liquidity appears to be drying up. Counter rotation, partially driven by buyers, but more so by willing market makers who pull the queue, sell lower, and then they're unwilling to send prices lower at 75.25. See the 17 that sells and it gets absorbed. Okay, I did such a good trade. I love it so much. So it was market makers and active participants, and the strength came from market makers. And I literally, when I saw that P&L, I literally jumped. I was like, who cares what I was like? Actually, doesn't matter. This is my business. 18, 24. Yeah, it plunges lower into active buyers. It plunges lower into active market makers, and there's no liquidity on the inside prints. And then buyers begin filling it higher, and then the Q pulls to the upside off of that. And sellers hit again and they get absorbed, and then price jumps. So it was passive limit driven. It's kind of a messed up profile, but good for me. Really nice absorption read, makes me happy. Makes me happy because I'm making progress. Yeah. Okay.